Howdy, folks. I'm Tedious Titan, tiredly trimming treasonous topiary.
I'm Amber.
And here's more treasonous topiary for us to trim. Amber, why are the plants betraying us?
I think you'll have to ask them.
Well, I mean, what have the plants done to betray us?
Horrible, horrible things.
I see.
They're not YouTube appropriate.
Not you. The plants
They may
have
have
gone
teamed up
mad.
with Bernard and the Unhinged.
I see. That would make sense. He is a door. Let's get started. Alright, folks, our letter this morning on our Saturday morning special is titled, Will I Be a Jerk for Telling My Half-Sister's New Family That She Kind of Assumed My Identity? I'm a 25-year-old female, and I have a half-sister, a 24-year-old female, we'll call Hannah. I suppose from our ages, the circumstances of her birth are very obvious, and because of this, and the subsequent drama, she was never in my life growing up. I would say that I've met her less than 10 times in my life. When she was 16, she started constantly reaching out to me via social media, but I was never interested. This stopped when we were around 20. Since then, I mostly forgot about her existence, until she reached out to me again at the start of this year, saying that she got engaged. She wanted me to come to her engagement party and help her get in contact with the rest of my dad's side of the family. I told her that I wasn't interested, but I did ask the rest of the family, granddad, aunts, and cousins, if they wanted me to put them in touch with her, and they said no. So I told her that too. About a week later, I got a message on social media from her fiancé digging me out for how I treated her. He told me that he understood that it was tough being the product of an affair, and he gets that I would be jealous of her since I was shunned by the family, but that she felt terrible about it and had always wanted a relationship with me. I was as confused as I was angry because he had the entire story backwards. I forwarded the message to Hannah with a question mark, and she admitted that her fiancé and this whole family didn't know that she was the affair baby, and they think that she stayed in contact with dad's family, that she went to the school and university, and basically lived the life that I did. I didn't blast her for the lies, I just told her that if I ever heard from any of the people in her life again, I would tell them the truth. The months went by. A few days ago, I received more messages from the fiancé and the fiancé's sister calling me heartless for refusing Hannah's attempts at contact. The sister said that I needed to get over my jealousy of Hannah. The fiancé called me a spiteful witch for emotionally blackmailing Hannah's dad into not going to the wedding. It took everything in me not to reply and read the lot of them to filth. So, I am now contemplating whether I should be the jerk for messaging them back with the truth. It can't go on like this. I told Hannah to handle her business, and she didn't. Also, her lies are pretty creepy. She's marrying a guy who has no idea who she is. Then again, it's not like she sent these people after me, so maybe I would be the jerk for tearing apart her whole life over something that isn't technically her fault. Alright, folks, what do you think?
I don't think you'd be the jerk. I think it is important to clear the air. First of all, if she's lying about what schools and stuff she went to and background, that's a pretty big lie. Like, if it was just, oh, I'm not the affair child, my sister is, like, that's bad as is. But if she's created up this whole false identity that matches yours, then, like, her fiancé has a right to know who he's marrying.
So there's nothing wrong with being the affair child, and the fact that I think that everyone's trying to stigmatize being an affair child in this story puts everyone kind of in the wrong. Like, oh, you're just jealous of not being the affair child here or there, right? And as for OP and whether or not she wants to be in contact with this person, I don't know what the problem is with being in contact with her. So I mean, I'm not going to fault them. You're not required to like or hang out with people, but I think that she was trying to reach out to family and be more family like. And then why she went this route though with the whole lies and trying to kind of assume OP's identity, it's just kind of creepy. You know, it's a little odd, it's a little strange, and now I could understand why OP wouldn't feel comfortable being put back in contact with this individual.
And, like, also, she's presumably the way that the fiancé and his sister got OP's contact info in the first place. So OP said, if I hear from these people again, I'm telling them the truth. Like, you need to clear the air. And this half sister didn't do that, so like OP even gave fair warning.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, are OP's family members being rude for being mean to an affair child who didn't choose it? Potentially. Like, it's always a hard situation when someone has an affair. Like, if they're still in contact with the father but not the child, then that's a little gross. They should
Mm-hmm.
cut the whole lot of them off if they're going to do that. But that has nothing to do with OP,
Yeah.
and so
Yeah, I just feel such an unfortunate situation for the sister, and I understand where OP is coming from at this point in time with how creepy this is. I don't know if it's the right answer or not to call them out, and I think that OP can reach out to them again and say, "Look, I'm really going to go through with this. You need to stop their harassment of me." But I don't know. It's terrible. It really is just terrible. I feel bad for OP because they've been put into an untenable position and they don't want to ruin this person's life. But,
no, but she also shouldn't be making these big
oh yeah,
lies. Like, what's going to happen when they get married and, like, if the truth comes out, a few years down the line.
yeah. Well, I'm saying that she should come clean,
Mm-hmm.
right? She should tell people that the circumstances, that it was a lie that she told. It was supposed to be a little white lie, and it just kind of got out of control. Because that's how oftentimes things like this take root. Is it just like it starts off as like a small, tiny lie, and then I imagine that she just kind of let it spiral out of control at a certain point. And hopefully, there's room for forgiveness here. But when you've been engaged to somebody, and then suddenly you find out that they're not at all the person that you thought they were,
Mm-hmm.
then that's going to cause a lot of problems and destruction. But let me know what you folks think. So, anyhow, take care and good luck. And definitely not transphobic says, "You're the jerk. Surprised by all the not the jerk votes. Why have you been so cold to this girl? Because of the sins of your dad. You're terrible, OP. You got more in common with your dad than you think." And OP replies, "Where did I say I have nothing in common with my dad? We don't have the cheating thing in common, but I'm not judging him from a soapbox or anything like that. I just don't feel the need to complicate my life unnecessarily. It's got nothing to do with my dad, except my dad is the only reason that she and I would ever interact in the first place. Like, I just don't have an interest in a relationship. I haven't spent my whole life wondering what if I had a sister, you know? I just want to live my life in peace." And Michelle K1666 says, "OP, you are not the jerk. I'm curious how she managed to pull this off. Do any of these people or your family members have social media? It would be pretty easy for them to figure out that she's been lying to them. It's super weird." And OP replies, "It would if they had suspicions, but why would they? By and large, people tell you the truth about insignificant things, so why would they dig into it?" And Echo Phoenix 24 says, "I think I need to vote for something in the middle. You don't need to lay out your whole history, but just let them know that they are misinformed. Maybe something like, 'I don't know what Hannah has told you about me, but from what you have been saying, it seems like it's very far from the truth. I'm not jealous of her, I just don't know her, and it seems like maybe you don't either. Then block, block, block.'" And OP replies, "Oof, saving that message." Alright, folks, our next letter is titled, "Am I a jerk for making my brother-in-law massage my legs?" I have a heavily pregnant wife who has two brothers, ages 18 and 23. I was recently at my in-laws' house for a family dinner. My wife and brother-in-law, 18, was discussing him staying over for a while so that he could help my wife in final stages of pregnancy, as she is having a hard time coping by herself when I'm at work. I was really not too keen on this idea, as I don't like outsiders staying at my home rent-free, but I let it slide on the behalf of my pregnant wife. I work extremely hard in the gym, so I came home today with a very achy leg muscles and saw that my brother-in-law was not doing anything, so I asked him to massage my legs. He looked a bit taken aback when I asked, but I said that he should since he's living here rent-free. He ended up listening and massaging my achy legs. Fast forward to now, my wife found out and had a huge go at me, claiming that her brother is not my servant and that I shouldn't have asked. I argued that it was the least he could do since he's living here rent-free for a while. So am I the jerk? Updated information. He's actually training to be a massage therapist, and I asked him to massage my legs, not intimate places. for the people accusing me of unimaginable and disgusting things. All right, folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Yeah, you're the jerk here. First of all, your brother-in-law isn't staying here rent-free. He's here to assist your wife who is
Yeah.
having difficulty.
Yeah.
You are not able to provide her the support that she needs while she's in work. She needs someone there to help her. So he is providing an important service to your household.
Mm-hmm.
And secondly, what he does for a job is not something that you can just take advantage of for free. Like, even though he's family, that doesn't mean you should be able to just be like, hey, do this thing for me now. And so I just think this is really not cool of you, OP.
Yeah. You're forgetting one thing, OP. This is a shared household between you and your wife. She is choosing to have a guest here, and that is an important factor in this. This is as much her decision as it's your decision, and you don't get to unilaterally decide what her brother does and doesn't do while he's a guest. A guest in your house who's doing your wife a favor.
Well, like, I understand not wanting people in your space, but again, it sounds like your wife cannot manage on her own. And would you rather be paying for someone to assist her during the day? Like, he has volunteered to help her, and is taking time out of his life to help her. And, like, again, I understand if you don't love having him there, but she has to have help.
Yeah, well, he's not only helping her, but he's helping OP because
Mm-hmm.
OP, you would have to stay home from work and help your wife all day. And while I'm not going to argue whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I do think that this is a situation where you're not recognizing the value that's being brought forth. So yeah, OP, he's got a job, but people don't come up to you randomly and ask you to do your job for them while they're sitting home and relaxing. And so I think you should have the same courtesy for him. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Dora the Urban Explorer says, you're the jerk. Just yikes, dude. Yikes. Her brother isn't living with you rent free. He's helping your pregnant wife who's carrying your child. He's an awesome brother, and you should be so grateful to him. Your wife is right that he isn't your servant. You massage your own legs, for goodness sakes. And Order Zealous Idea 124 says, you're the jerk. It's her house as much as it's yours, and her brother is not some stranger. It's not like he's freeloading. He's helping your pregnant wife when you aren't available. And Bunch of Clowns says, you're the jerk. Why do you want an 18-year-old to massage your legs? That's creepy. Have him do the dishes or something if you want some kind of payment for and not physically touch you. Alright folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here. And Amber, she's got a joke.
Why do porcupines always win at games?
I can tell you exactly why porcupines always win at games is because they're dirty, rotten cheaters and nobody wants to confront them about it because they've got spikes on their back. And that's just not something you confront. You let it go. You let the porcupine win.
They have the most points.
They do have the most points all the time. It doesn't matter, rain or shine. And I have licorice spice. Alright folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy spectacular Saturday. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance. And please, please have it in the form of a message you might send someone who's harassing you.
Hi, blank. Just so you know, my sister has stolen my life. All those things she told you that are hers, yeah, they're really me. Just look on social media and you'll see. Bye.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that works. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.